the demographics here in Lake Oswego. There are over 36,000 residents and an additional 5,000 who live within the urban service boundaries but don't pay property tax to the city. They pay property tax to the county. The average home price last year was nearly $430,000, making housing prices the highest in Oregon. Lake Oswego is also the most affluent city with the highest income per capita. But we are not without poverty. There are 2,600 residents who meet poverty level standards, and 4% of people over 65 are below the poverty level. The age demographics are shifting. The 65 plus population is expected to double within 20 years, and the population under 20 years old is shrinking, and it's already contributing to a shift in educational needs of Lake Oswego residents. So for my study of Lake Oswego, I decided to focus on one neighborhood and gather quality responses. I live in the Lake Forest neighborhood, which is the orange spot here on the map. And it is one of the furthest neighborhoods from downtown Lake Oswego. The Lake Oswego Adult Community Center is located on the east side of town, which led me to assume that people in my neighborhood may not be aware of the services they offer. There are over 1,300 residents and nearly 600 homes or apartments in Lake Forest. I knocked on over 150 doors, and I interviewed 38 people over the age of 46. I divided the respondents into two groups, boomers and 66 plus. Over half my sample, 62%, fell into the boomer category. The City Council made an assumption that residents are likely to move after retirement. I asked boomers the question, how likely are you to continue living in Lake Oswego after retirement? 59% indicated very to extremely likely to continue residing here. When I asked if they were to move into a new home here in the community, would it be a larger home, smaller home, or same size home? More than half wanted a smaller home. When these boomers were asked to describe the ideal residence, 68% used the word home, such as my home, this home, a detached home, a one-level home, and 18% of people described a community type living. In the 66 plus category, 86% are very likely to extremely likely to continue living in Lake Oswego. So an assumption that I made was that if a person has already cared for a friend or family member who was aging, that they would be more likely to plan for their own retirement years. So I asked a baseline question. Do you currently or have you ever provided care to an elderly friend or family member? 73% of residents said they have, most indicating caring for a spouse or a parent. When I asked boomers if you were to require assistance cooking, cleaning, bathing, etc., where would you turn for help? Over 20% have not considered this. 30% would hire in-home care, and 30% are open to the idea of living in specialized housing. On the other hand, the 66 plus group, 43% would depend on family member compared to 26% of the boomers. It's about double. 50% of people who've never cared for an elderly friend or family member would depend on family for help or consider moving into long-term care. Those who have helped an elderly friend or family member, only 19% of them would consider moving into long-term care. These numbers indicate that both boomers and 66 plus with experience caring for a loved one would prefer to hire in-home care. Many stories I heard from the neighbors that I interviewed indicated helping a family member was extremely stressful, and they would not want to put their children through that. So we're looking at wellness in boomers. I found that Lake Oswego residents are extremely active. Outdoor activities and gardening are the most common. This assumption that I made about active adults indicates that people who are active in their younger years will continue to be active in their retirement years and want opportunities to do these types of activities. In the 66 plus group, approximately 1/3 participate in activities outside of the home, and 68% belong to some type of community groups. Very few of these seniors use senior services of any kind. When I asked about technology, 60% of boomers indicated that they were very likely to extremely likely to use technology to age in place. That number dropped when I described the type of technology that's coming on the market that tracks vital signs, monitors activities, and interacts with the physician over the internet. Men interviewed were more averse to the use of technology than women. An assumption here is that most people believe that technology provides a benefit, but when it comes to imagining exactly how you will interact with the technology, there is apprehension. People who are over 66 years old are less likely to use technology than the boomers. I made an assumption that it's because maybe they're not comfortable with technology, but every single person that I interviewed in this age group uses email to communicate with friends and family, and they have internet at home. So it would be a false assumption